What's up, champ? I'm Vince Delmonte of GeneExpressionTraining.com. We're here at Torque Barbell in Etobicoke, new gym I've been training at, having a great time here. And I'm right now in the midst of a brand new 8-week training cycle, and I want to take you guys through my deadlift workout, posterior chain workout, a workout that's going to help you develop your glutes and your hamstrings and your lower back. All right, you guys are going to see me doing some deadlifts. I'm going to be teaching you guys two new techniques here that are really helping me create a lot of stability around my joints, that are helping me really promote a lot of muscle growth. Two techniques you probably aren't using, and we're gonna kick the workout off with one of them, and then we'll finish off the workout with another one of them. And I wanna also really give you a lot of insight on how to make progress with your workouts, okay? So I'm gonna be showing you guys snippets of my phone and what I did last week and what I'm trying to do this week so that I'm applying these concepts of progressive overload, micro progressions, and it's not just theory, because I know you understand the theory. The theory is simple, right? But it's the application that really is the difference between getting results and getting no results. This is a leg workout for mass, all right? The rep ranges we're working in, the amount of volume we're working with, the techniques we're using are designed to create a really strong foundation. And in the context of this workout is that this is preparing me for a really heavy strength phase coming up pretty soon. So you have to understand, if you want to get strong, you need a base. You have to have volume. Right? If you're gonna sprint really hard, you can't just do it off of no base. You gotta have some volume. You have to have work capacity. You've gotta have a recovery ability. So this program is setting up what we're gonna be doing in our next phase, and at the same time, this has got quite a bit of volume to accommodate the bulking phase I'm in. So that's also something important to understand. I'm right now in a caloric surplus. I'm focusing on adding weight. So you gotta keep all these details in context here. So when you're listening to somebody on YouTube, you have to understand, does this apply to me right now? And what can I take from this that's actually applicable? So context is everything, or else you can't see the trees through the forest, right? So here we go. Exercise 1 here, because this is a hip day, we're gonna start off with 2 exercises. We're gonna start off with lying leg curls. And what I want to teach you here, guys, are 10-second concentrics. All right, we're going to be doing an activation exercise for the hamstrings. And what we want to do here is a 10-second concentric. As you can see, I'm going very, very, very slow. All right, I'm focusing on contracting my hamstrings. I'm focusing on beating the weight 1 pound at a time. All right, and that means the movement's very slow, and I'm really getting my head in my muscle. All right. I'm coming all the way to the top, and to get to 10 seconds, I'm just finishing it off with an isometric contraction. A lot of you guys can't recruit your hamstrings during deadlifts and during squats because you don't even know how to contract them during an isolation exercise. So a lot of people say, oh, isolation exercises, this is how you get injured if you do too much of it. That's BS. If you can't contract your hamstrings in an isolation exercise, how are you going to contract them when you sprint? How are you going to contract them on a deadlift? How are you going to contract them on a squat? Isolation always comes before integration. All right, anybody who slams isolation doesn't know what they're talking about. All right, so what we're doing here are 1 set of 10 to switch the muscle on. All right, the next exercise we're doing are glute bridges, just with the body weight. And I want you guys to really listen to what I'm saying here, because you can't see what I'm doing. All right, the idea here is to rotate our pelvis and to shorten our glutes and hamstrings by driving our feet into the ground. All right, the glutes are an external rotator. So as I'm rotating my hips backward, as I'm going into a posterior tilt, kind of like I'm humping someone, oh, obviously be my wife, like I'm humping someone, I'm doing a pelvic thrust. I'm also driving my feet into the ground at the same time, and my knees are going outwards, all right? When you're going into this end point here, what I want you to do is hang out here. So you're gonna take 10 seconds to rotate your pelvis. It's not gonna take 10 seconds to rotate your pelvis into this pelvic rotation, but when you get there, you're just gonna hang out at the top, and I want you to contract your glutes and hamstrings while driving your feet into the ground and keeping your knees pointed outward, all right? And I want you to find the deepest contraction you can find, okay? If you can't contract your hamstrings and your glutes from an isometric, how are you gonna do it during a squat? How are you gonna do it when you deadlift? The answer is you're not. You're gonna get hurt. You'll disperse tension everywhere, and this is why guys end up getting injured. The workout takes more from them than gives back. All right, so we're really preparing ourselves for these heavy weights. 1 set of 10 here on these exercises, and then we're gonna move on. All right, this third exercise is a pre-fatigue exercise. So this is a new technique I'm incorporating into my program as well. It's not like a new technique that you've never tried or heard of, but the way this program is set up, I'm pre-fatiguing my glutes and my hamstrings. Now, some people think that's a bad thing. I actually find it's beneficial. I find that I need more time before I do some heavy loads. So what we're doing here are glute ham raises. Now, I'm giving myself quite a bit of support here, and I am losing a little more momentum than I should be, but this exercise here is preparing my glutes and my hams in a way that are gonna be utilized with the deadlift. All right, so I'm really getting my brain tied into my glutes and hamstrings. I'm really feeling a deeper contraction, and I'm preparing myself for some good quality weight, which is coming up. All right, so right now, I'm gonna give you guys a little insight on what's happening.
All right, so we did 4 sets of 12 today. Next week I have to do 5 sets of 10. Knowing that I did 4 sets of 12 with my body weight, next week I'm gonna try 5 sets of 10, and I might do the first 1 or 2 sets with 5 pounds across my chest. Or just make it even a little less complex and just put my hands behind my head. And that will be the micro progression. So I did 4 sets of 12 this week. My program says 5 sets of 10 next week. Knowing that I did 4 sets of 12 this week, that's what I'm gonna shoot for next week. I'll go to 5 sets of 10 like this. I'll try and do that. All right, so this is the concept of micro progressions. All right, so I'm giving you guys principles, but then I also wanna show you how it applies in the real world.
The third part of the workout is the main movement. So now we're doing deadlifts. All right, we've spent a lot of time pre-fatiguing the glutes and hams. We've done activation exercises. Now it's time to lift some heavy weight. All right, for me, when I'm lifting heavy weight, I have to have a specific warm-up protocol, and I use what's called potentiation sets. I've created a whole separate video on this. I'm not sure if it's gone live yet based on when I'm recording this, so I'll put a link above me, or it'll be uploaded very soon, and it'll show you how I'm preparing for this actual aspect of the workout, okay? I don't want to drag this video out too long. So this part of the workout is 3 sets of 6 and then 3 sets of 8. All right, so this is heavy for me because I'm working according to my muscle fiber type. All right, if you don't know what your muscle fiber type is, I just put a link on the screen here to go to a page where there's a quiz that will help you determine your muscle fiber type, because working with my body instead of just on my body has been a big game changer for making gains without getting hurt. All right, so just keep that in context as well. So I'm gonna give you guys some insights on how this workout's going. So I got 6 sets in front of me. This actually turned out to be a really productive workout because I did more reps and more weight than I did in my previous week. And I wanna give you guys some insights here.
This week's deadlift workout, we did more weight, more volume, more intensity and volume. We beat last week's workout. So this is now my new fitness level. This is what I'm trying to beat this year, my new baseline. All right, so I know exactly what I need to beat next week or match to keep moving forward. One of the big questions guys ask me is, how do I know if I go up in weight or go down in weight? You know, based on what's happening in the workout. How do I interpret that? How do I interpret my body's biofeedback? That's a great question, because right now, let's make this real. I just done 3 sets of 8. I've hit my goal reps with the goal tempo, with the goal rest period, but I still have to do 3 sets of 8. Now, if you watch that last set, it was an ugly 6 reps. So I'm experiencing what's called the critical drop-off. I'm lacking work capacity, all right? So the question is do I make a little small drop, or do I have to make a bigger drop and get in that 3 to 8 rep range? Knowing that the goal of this program is hypertrophy, I would be better off lightening the weight and nailing that goal reps and really focusing on contracting muscle. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. If the emphasis of this program was more strength, I wouldn't drop the weight off as much, because if I miss a rep or 2, I'm still training the nervous system. And neither are right or wrong, but the question is what's your goal? And if you don't know what your goal is, what the theme of the workout is, you can't make these decisions on the spot. So knowing that this is a hypertrophy phase, I'm going to reduce the weight down to 295. Also because if you look back on my program, I can look here. The last time I did this, I did a set of 8 with 295, a set of 8 with 295. So if I could get 3 sets of 8 with 295, that's more volume than I did in my previous week, which is a sign of progress. So you see how these things are guiding the workout? It's kind of like having a personal trainer inside the gym with you, but you're your own personal trainer because you've got this data. You can make intelligent decisions. Without this data, you're just guessing, you're just hoping, all right? So we don't want to become obsessive about this stuff, but we do want to use it as a tool to guide the quality of our workouts.
So the last aspect of this workout, which is the other technique I mentioned you guys were going to learn in this video, are called tensed loaded stretches. All right, so the whole idea here is to promote stability in weak angles. All right, so where are we typically the weakest when we're deadlifting? In the bottom position, right? We need strong lats, which are tied into your core. We need strong glutes. We need strong hamstrings. We need a lot of pieces to be able to do a deadlift without loading our spine and destroying our lower back. So this exercise here at the end of the workout consists of 6 sets of 35-second isometric holds, all right? And I'm taking 45 seconds rest. All right, so the idea here is to contract as much muscle tissue as possible. So what you can't see me doing here is I'm contracting my lats. So I'm actually thinking about kettlebells were actually a bar. I'm actually thinking about bending the bar and engaging my lats. So the weight's not just hanging off my lats are actually opposing the force, all right? I'm also thinking about driving my feet into the ground here. I'm not on my toes, I'm not on my heels. When you're doing this, the weight should be right in the center of your foot, all right? And as I'm driving my feet into the ground, I'm also shoving my hips backwards. So I'm creating this action-reaction platform. So I'm creating a very strong base of support and engaging all the same musculature that I would do during a deadlift. Or that's also involved in a squat as well. So this is helping promote stability. The last thing I want to teach you guys with these tensed loaded stretches is that we want to focus on trying to get a little bit extra range on each subsequent set. So we don't want to force it. We only want to go into a range that we can control and where we can contract muscle tissue. If you're just hanging out in a position, you're going to go into what's called passive tension. This is when you're going to get hurt. What we want is active tension. We want your muscles opposing the weight, all right? With each subsequent set, as you're going lower, you also want to understand one of the ways to get lower isn't by bending at the hips, but by flexing your trunk. So actually contracting your abdominals and pulling your trunk downwards, which is a cue a lot of people don't teach. All right, that's one of the functions of the trunk flexion. So to get lower, we want to also engage our core and actually pull ourselves down with our abdominals. So that's something you can think about too as you do these tense loaded stretches. All right guys, so that's it for the workout. I know that was more advanced. That definitely is a program not for beginners. All right, so if you're just getting started, I would tell you completely to skip this. Don't do this workout. This is for guys who've been training for at least 4+ years because we're doing some advanced techniques. There's a lot of fancy stuff in here. Plus you're working with a good amount of volume, a good amount of load. All right, so if you have been training for more than 4 years, this is something you can try out. The most important thing I'm trying to teach guys here on this channel is that you got to work with your body, not just on your body. All right, just going to the gym, going through the motions, just hoping you get something out of the workout. It's kind of like trying to sail across the Atlantic Ocean without a map, right? You're just hoping, and hope isn't a strategy. You've got to work with your muscle fiber type. So I created this cool quiz. All you got to do is click the link on the screen or hit the first link in the description if you're watching this on your phone. And it'll take you to a page to help you figure out your muscle fiber type, and it'll tell you why that's important and how to go about doing so afterwards. It'll also talk to you guys about No Nonsense Muscle Building 2.0, which is my only program that has 3 different programs included in it. A slow twitch program, a mixed fiber type program, and a fast twitch fiber type program. So whatever your body type, whatever your fiber type, I've got a program customized to how you're built. So you can work with your genes, with your DNA. All right, and this is when you'll see the fastest results. This is when results will come more effortlessly, okay? Because you're working with your body, not just on your body, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, let me know what it was in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. Having a great time teaching you guys all this new stuff, and it's been awesome to hear about how you guys are getting better results, training smarter, not just harder, right? Remember, any monkey can work hard. There's no accomplishment in that. This is about being smart, being strategic, thinking long-term, being consistent, not getting hurt. That's what this is all about. I'm glad we're going on this journey together. We'll see you guys next time.